What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing a VOD from the Project PBE Major. That was day 1. Today, if you guys missed it, essentially ranks 2 through 24 on ladder. Battled it out in a tournament to cut to a final 7. Really interesting and smart from Kai is with this Project PBE. If you go to the leaderboard, you'll see rank 1 overall was Precedent up here. And so Precedent actually got a bye to the final day. So literally, before the entire tourney was played out, Precedent's name was up here on this list. And then we have everybody else who is going to be joining him in the final lobby. Ahau, Chiwe, Panda, Koiwe, Seol, Gobosteur, and Marcel P. A really, really nice final lobby. And I mean, if you guys missed it, this tournament is stacked, right? I mean, look at the people who didn't make it. Dish Soap didn't make it on a point. Light YGO, this guy has been performing really well in Project PBs and just Chinese ladder in general. Hypno, a previous winner Project PB. Weijin Iverson down here. Yboy1 down here. Darth Noob down here. Jing Wigwug, my boy, had a rough day. I mean, hey, it's TFT. It's all good. All good. Just dust yourself off. Go beast level in Paris Open. And the people at the top who did the best. Huge shout out to Ahau. 40 bomb dropped on the day, just really good scores of real. Sale had a really great start, started 1-1 and then kind of fell off a bit. Then Marcel P and Gobo squeaked in there at the end. The other thing that I do want to shout out is Kai recently set up a Patreon. Kai has not asked me to shout this out whatsoever. I'm doing this completely of my free will because I think Kai is one of the most what's the word I'm looking of? Under glazed people in the TFT community. A lot of people glaze this guy, but I mean, in terms of people who are putting in work that does benefit the community and receiving not really much, return. We were talking about it on stream today. He's literally in the negative thousands of dollars from money that he himself out of his pockets has invested to make Project PBE work, which is a benefit for the entire community. Go sub to this guy's Patreon. He's got a couple of members set up, so you can just drop $3 a month here to kind of have easier access to the projects and stuff like this. You don't have to re-sign up, or this prismatic one looks quite cool. You get access to some of these the in the mind of Kai Watanabe, and I mean, he's got a pretty twisted mind, so I'm sure these will be sorry. I'm sure these will be fun, and the thing I'm looking forward to the most is the video shout out. So I'm gonna sign up under the Prismatic supporter, and I think you guys should. I mean, if you guys have some spare money, I think it's a really great way to support a creator like this who's putting in a ton of work. Something like a Patreon where every month they're getting a certain amount of support is really valuable for somebody who you don't get that kind of consistent income when you're, doing this stuff full time, which Kai is. He does not have a job outside of TFT. And so, if he could just get a few people, supporting him, Prismatic supporter, that would be, I'm sure, valuable for him. So I'm going to support Kai under Prismatic supporter level. I think you guys should as well. But let's hop into what the meat and potatoes of today's video. We can't just glaze Mr. Watanabe here. We are going to do a VOD review of Gobosteur here, one of the players who did make it to the finals. And I really wanted to VOD review this game because he took a cool line, one that I haven't seen people really play towards at all yet. This is a line based on a new augment that they added this set, and yeah, just it was a very cool line. We'll talk about it as we get further in, but I really like how he played out this game, so I'm excited to watch it here. But yeah, we start off with Blitz pair, a few pieces of Ionia. I think we checked our Ionia already. I think our Ionia in this game is gold gen. The one we're on kill, you get gold here. Checks his void item. It's the tank item. That's the HP one, I think. I believe so. I don't know why my Twitch paused there, Sag. But I think it's the HP. Oh yeah, it's the one that spawns a voidling, Royal Husk. So throws that onto the Joseph Gath here. I think a lot of people just love a void opener. Just I mean, a lot of there's so much power in this Cho'Gath unit. The fact that he can basically in the early game stun the entire board is a lot here, and he will hold on to Jin pair as well here. First augment here, Calculos, Heart of Steel, and Early Learnings. So interesting enough, spoiler alert, the augment that we're looking at this game is Heart of Steel. I mean, Calculos, fine enough, but Heart of Steel I think makes sense. We have a tank item onto, well, a tank mod onto the Cho already, And we do have a second Steadfast that we can slam here. So Heart of Steel, if you guys haven't taken this yet, you're going to Steadfast Heart, and then every 10 seconds that the holder survives, the Steadfast Heart gains an additional 12 permanent max HP. Now, it's very important. The HP is actually on the Steadfast Heart, not on the unit itself. So you can, say, throw this onto Cho, scale up your Steadfast Heart, and then move this to someone else in the later game. So something very important to note there. But yeah, he is going to, the main reason we picked up this augment is because we can make a double slam here, slam 2 Steadfast Hearts onto our Cho'Gath here. And every 10 seconds, he is farming a ton of HP, right? He's farming 24 extra HP. And once again, that goes onto the Steadfast Heart, which is really, really, really nice. Now we hit a Shen 2, which is really nice as well. This is going to allow us to play towards 1, Ionia, and 2, we just have a better unit to tank here. So those Steadfast Hearts are going to move on to the Shen there. He actually did just hover Ionia there, so let's look at it and see. Oh no, this is actually just the extra attack one. Honestly, you probably in an ideal world wanted like the cast one, I guess. We could level up here just to add something to our board, but we're just going to sit at level 3 here. Even he's holding onto the Xin Zhao, but says, there's not that much value in me leveling up here. When you are playing for something like this Steadfast Heart, that you want fights to last as long as possible, I mean, you want to be, in an ideal world, making sure your fights last as long as possible. Crazy thing. And so I do think like playing this kind of style where we're not necessarily like leveling, adding a bunch of damage to our board. We're just saying we're going to play a very, very slow style. Just play double Steadfast Heart onto to Shen, not slam anything else. I think is really, really smart. Now, here's another cool thing that Gobo's going to do here. He takes 2 losses and he says, you know what? We just made 10 gold here. He could have held the Ionia, but he doesn't care as much about the Ionia. He's actually going to roll down here, find 6 Jins, by the way, but he's rolling 7 Jins, by the way, and he's rolling to try to pick up Bard here. And he also, on the way to Bard, holds on to all these Jins, which is really, really smart. And now all of a sudden we have 8 Jins to play around, and we have the Bard. So I think his idea in this spot was that we're going to play a kind of like a Scion reroll game. Scion scales very well with HP. He also himself gains a lot of HP, so this would be the world's healthiest Scion. You get 6 Bruiser in with the Scion with double Steadfast Heart HP and extra HP from his passive, and you would just have a monstrous Scion here. But now the game starts to get even more interesting because we have all of a sudden 8 Jins, and we just got Bard in. There is a world here where our Bard portals in another Jin, and we just spawn in next round with Jin 3 at 2-5, which would be insane. But just goes to show, this is what Bard does to the game. Allows you to roll down like this in a spot where we only started the roll down with 3 Jins, but we picked up every Jin we saw on the way, and now we're one off Jin 3 here, which is really nice. We took the sword here. 1, it's high cost, so it allows us to make 10 gold here as long as we win, and 2, it's an item that we can slam onto the Jin. Jin, one of these interesting units where he will cast and then mana lock himself for the kind of the 4 autos. So mana gen on him I don't think is like amazing, but it's not too bad. It's not like he's one of these versions of Jin that literally has no mana. Really close fight here, and ooh, that is actually so rough that we lose this fight. Not only do we lose our streak here, but we also lose our ability to make 10 gold there without selling the Bard. So he has to end up selling off the Bard. And I think, yeah, literally right now, Gobo realizes like, okay, I'm actually not going to play some kind of like Bard reroll game in this spot here. He sold off that extra Bard, saying, I'm so close to Jin 3. I have these free rerolls. My most likely angle in this spot is actually stabilize around Jin 3 and then push levels. Almost like a worth the wait style gameplay. If you guys, have played around that augment, probably at some point in your lives you have. When you're offered such an early 3-star unit, it often becomes kind of low value for you to roll because we've already hit the Jin, once we find one more Jin. Not to say that, it's guaranteed, but it's likely. But once we hit that Jin, I mean, the Jin will have been hit. And then there's not a lot that you can gain from even hitting like a Bard 3 just because you'll have a really good carry. Also, smart stuff by Gobo here. Take out the itemized Jin here to try to make this fight last as long as possible. Ideally, you want to get to that 30 52nd mark with Heart of Steel. We don't end up getting all the way here. He is certainly going to use his free rolls here to look for Jhin, and the question is, are we going to use any more rolls? I mean, you could roll one more time here and you'd still make 30. You aren't at that nice amount of gold that's going to guarantee you make 50 in a couple of rounds, and it looks like he is just going to say, I'm not going to dip any more than my free rolls here, because once again, I still have the opportunity for Bard to farm me a unit. You know, if Bard randomly farms me a Jhin, then I'll have it there. You do have to win fights for Bard to start farming, which is the only slightly suspect thing here. And he's actually, yeah, he's going to hold on to the Jinx as well here for Gunslinger here. And at least, you know, he's going to get some free refreshes this stage. Certainly don't think you can take Pandora's bench here. Seems really, really greedy. I don't love our other options. I guess Pandora's items. Ooh. Gain a Gargoyle Stoneplate, combat start, allies holding Gargoyle Stoneplate, gain 10% max HP, the only one in a row. I mean, isn't it the double? Oh, defensive. What is this? Your team gains. Oh, yeah. This is kind of one of these cool new trait ones. I mean, it seems fine. I mean, I would just take the solo plate. You get a Gargoyle for your Shen. You get even more value. He reforges. Wow. This is really nice. He reforged his damage item there to say, like, okay, you know, if I hit another tank component, maybe I'll consider taking a non-tank augment. But because I actually hit damage component here, I don't feel bad at all about taking the solo plate here. So this is 2 tank item augments stacked onto each other, the solo plate and then the heart steel one. I forget what it's called. It's like an augmented, like in League of Legends, there's this item is called like heart steel or something like that, and it does scale infinite HP, but TFT they never made it that because that would be broken, I guess. But if it takes a whole augment, it's not that broken. It's reasonable. We do it the Gen 3 on our slow couple of rolls from our Bard, and now we are just, like I said, we are going to tempo in this spot, push levels, play around vertical Ionia, play around vertical Bruiser, and just use this Shen to stack up for now, and eventually these items can move over to the Monkey King, the Wukong. Is he still called the Monkey King? I don't know. In any case, Wukong actually will be a really nice holder of these items. We can talk about later why, but for now, the board is doing great. We are holding on to these extra Shens for a Shen 3 out if one does, you know, come to us. There is a monkey on carousel, and this is a pretty low priority tag. There aren't that many people who are like jumping out of bed for a Wukong here. So yeah, it's an easy pickup off carousel here, which is fantastic. Not only is this an Ionia unit that we can fit in, but he's also another Bruiser here. So we do have 4 Bruiser if we want it here onto this board. And he's going to opt to not play 4 Bruiser for now. Just going to play this board, make sure that he's keeping Gunslinger in here. And yeah, I got to already move items over to the monkey here. I think it's quite reasonable just because one of the really cool things about Wukong is he does have this kind of interesting passive. You know, I don't think have we ever really seen this kind of effect? He has the what was the augment or the power up called last set where when your unit died, they would spawn a dummy with their items. It's trivia in the Twitch chat, which we have all the time. But Wukong has that where when he dies, the clone summons up with a copy of his items. What's really cool here is those items just exist on the Wukong. You know, you get all of the items just straight up the full effect onto the Wukong. Now, the clone has very low HP, so, you know, the clone is usually kind of worthless. But when you have these steadfast hearts that are stacking up a ton of extra HP here, the clone is getting all that extra HP. You know, there's no diminishing effect there. I am also assuming that, say, you know, Wukong dies at 15 seconds and then the clone lives to 20 seconds. I believe it does continue stacking the Steadfast Heart. I'm curious if Gobo actually checks it this game. This is definitely something that I would want to check here to make sure, because Riot Games, you never know. But that is how I assume that it works here, which if that is a correct assumption, then that benefit is also really big, because you just get, I mean, a ton of value for free. You know, you get extra value onto your item, you know, extra HP. Items wise, we do get a Warmogs here, which is kind of funny, but yeah, I don't think you really want to make it. I think you do want to make more of a Morello here. And yeah, he's going to have to make Morello TG here, which is kind of nice. I mean, it's a great double slam. Only downside is it leaves us with no last Jhin item here. We're just sitting with Morello Jhin, which is a bit awkward, I would say. But I mean, the TG can go onto the like Volibear later, who we're, you know, almost guaranteed to be playing. So a lot of value there. Reinforcement seems quite bad here. Tons of stats, just not an augment that people are often happy to take. I mean, last second save seems quite solid with everything that we got going on here. He's gonna, wow, take the duo Q and gets rewarded for it immediately. I mean, Senna, what were we really looking for here? Because obviously we don't have Volibear unlocked. Oh, wow. What? We just reforged? We opened full reforged the Morello, got an IE, which is, I mean, very nice. We did have kind of like red buff components left open, but that's fine because we just reforge, or we just make Wince's Rage Blade here. Wow. I'm shocked about that full reforge on the Morello. He just said, actually, I don't really need heal cut on this board so much. Gets the level 8 double unlock here of the set and the Volibear, which is really, really big. Voli can just fit onto the board for now. Yeah, I mean, I still don't know that much about the duo queue in this spot. I mean, what 5 costs? I mean, maybe some kind of like Annie because you're playing, I mean, Ornn. I mean, there's a lot of broken 5 costs these days. It's just, I don't know how many of them actually really fit on your board. Lucian Senna is obviously the one that we were looking for. One of the best 5 costs in the game. It's hard to say. The best non-unlockable 5 costs in the game, I would say, easily. I guess you can say Azir in certain circumstances, but like from a, just combat strength, put this unit on your board, effect, it's certainly there. And I mean, the Zilean also works with the Koboko here. So, I mean, there's actually, yeah, I mean, he's actually really pleased with the 5 cost that he farmed here. And he then, farmed the Volibear, got that, opted to not actually play the set here because it's kind of awkward to fit him. Now he's going to move Shojin over to the Senna here because he's picked up LW. So he's going to slam probably LW Senna, I would imagine. LW Jin, huh? Because, I mean, Senna applies it really well, but I guess his idea is he wants to keep the IE and the LW next to each other just for the stats. Makes sense. Okay. So the LW does go onto the Jin here. The Senna gets kind of like the leftover items, though honestly, the Senna is like probably close in power, if not sometimes better than this Jin here. Let's check damage chart. Okay, actually, it was not that close there. So the Jin's doing work, actually. I really do like this Jin unit. I feel like he's kind of a beast. And also, we're still keeping this Bard on the board here, really just as an econ unit, right? He's not doing that much for us in terms of, board strength, obviously, but every single fight we win, he is farming units. We saw today on the Project PBE co-stream a Bard farm a Brock when someone was playing Ishtal on stage 6. So this Bard can certainly farm higher cost units. I think it might be stage gated here. We'll see what Bard farms here. Yeah, he's farming like 1 cost here. I feel like stage 5 and 6 he really ramps up the ability to farm broken stuff. But I mean, I do think the much the obvious board to play is that we are going to level 2-9 and then just play 6 Bruiser here and make a giant Wukong. The kind of hilarious thing is we're still on Wukong 1, by the way. We barely rolled it all on 8 because of the fact that, I mean, we had such a stable board. And yeah, we are going to roll here a little bit on 8. Just use our free rolls and not overroll it too much here. These rods are a bit awkward. I mean, you could make like an IE onto Senna here, but then you're stuck with Ionic Spark. You could make... yeah, he's looking at just Ionic Spark here. I mean, good enough. And I mean, does our board really do any magic damage? I think we have some like incidental stuff. We have the Zilean on it for now, which I mean, honestly, Zilean might stay on the board, but yeah, our magic damage, if you look at the damage chart over there, is pretty small. No, I don't think we're that excited about that, but okay. We could opt to level this round if we would like. I am a super ungreedy player, so I would just level here and just cope. It's like, oh, I'm stacking the Steadfast Heart more. But I think Gobo here understands. I'm 65 HP. There's a lot of 5 costs that we are capping around the Senna, the Volibear, the Zilean here. So there's actually a lot of value in not leveling here and just, holding the line, sacking 2 rounds. Worst case, we're going to be like, 40 HP. And best case, we're going to win the fight anyway against Darth New without leveling. I mean, this is just the power of the Steadfast Heart stacking. This Wukong is just an absolute monster at this point. Also, we are still stacking Zilean XP on the way with our Invoker Zilean on the board. So, I mean, this is full greed, but I will say, it's very important this set to know when to greed and when not to greed. And Gobo said this is a spot to greed, and he was definitely, I mean, the fact that he won last fight versus level 9 board is incredible. Singed pulling our Jin forward, which is very annoying. Our Volibear doing a lot of work though. Oh my god, are we? Oh. Yeah, just, I mean, a 1 unit loss, still fantastic. I think you told Gobo that he'd be 54 HP after those 2 fights. He would say, I'm totally down for that. So a really, really nice spot for him. And now he can opt to level up here, get that 6 Bruiser in, I would imagine, over the Bard, and then roll down for some of his 2-star 5 costs, which yeah, the spot's looking great. Does pick up an Azir here, but I don't think he cares that much for it. Gets all of the Zilean XP. It's so much, by the way. He's still holding on to these Shens for potential Shen 3, by the way. And yeah, gets rewarded, picks it up. up. And there is the other really, really big upgrade. It finds the Wukong 2. Look at those HP bars on Wukong, man. I hope we get an HP check at some point because this guy is just, I mean, a monster at this point. He just is completely impossible to kill with the extra gargoyle as well, a value from his augment. And once you kill the Wukong, it's just, you know, he's literally, it's a boss fight with 2 health bars, you know? You kill him, and just the second health bar appears, and you have to get through the totem, like, dummy as well. And all while this is going on, you know, Zilean is burning people down with the bombs. You're getting a lot of, you know, extra damage from and now the Volibear as well. The Jhin obviously doing a lot of work. We're opting to roll on 9 here just because there's still a lot of stuff left to hit before going to 10. The big thing is obviously Senna 2, Volibear 2. The Zilean 2 with 0 items is really, you know, not doing all that much, but he has at least a nice effect where if there is a mega tank that we have to bust through, he'll throw his bomb on the mega tank and take it down. After 16 seconds, it'll explode. Or actually, it's 14 at 2-star, I believe. So there's a lot of value in just having random Zilean on your board to kill mega tanks. We'll see actually matchup wise. Well, Chemical Hype, who is YBY1, by the way, this is YBY1 playing on an alt account because he was having issues like getting logged in or something like that. So that's YBY1 playing this very, very fun. Why am I Ishtal board? I'll have to pick up the Sunfire here. Since we did reforge the Morello, we didn't have Heal Cut until now. So the Sunfire, I mean, the single best pickup we can take here, even better than Morello because it's a Shen item as well. So this is really, really nice. And we just want to make sure the Sunfire goes to the right side. Put it left side here. We'll see. Zilean bombing a good spot to bomb that Nico here, which is ticking down here. So the Nico should explode. No, she didn't actually end up exploding. This is something that somebody brought up, is that Zilean sometimes his bomb just doesn't do the execute, which I don't really understand. I do think the Zilean probably did cast on the Nico that fight. I didn't completely track him casting on the Nico that fight, but yeah, sometimes the Zilean bomb just doesn't do it's supposed to, you know, after 14 seconds, guaranteed kill a unit, but it seems like it doesn't always do that, which is pretty bad in that matchup because we really need the Zilean bomb to guarantee kill the Nico because that Nico is a monster. This Nico unit is just so tanky. And this fight, it's actually pretty rough as well because our backline just gets killed through our front line. Our Wukong was one of the last units to end up dying here. Upside here, though, is that Panda goes down to YBY1 here. So we get to get a top 2 locked in here. The question is, can we cap out high enough to win the game? Rolls down, finds Lucian Senna 2. Okay, that's a huge upgrade. Once again, biggest thing here is I think we need to keep the Zilean on the Nico. Oh, no, he's actually right side here. Okay, well, we'll see here. Yeah, it's not hitting the Nico, which is kind of rough. But hey, maybe we have the damage to get through the Nico anyway. Very tanky. Brock here for YBY1 as well here. So scary board there as well. We're going to take a loss here down to 9 HP. So we're going to go into the final fight here. I think, honestly, okay, what I would like more than anything is to get the Zilean. I kind of like GS here and then move Shojin over to Zilean to get Zilean to cast to bomb the dude faster. I don't know if that's what Gobo's thinking here. It looks like he's kind of thinking, I mean, honestly, our Volibear items are okay. I like, okay, he's going to move. Oh, TG, move this up here and then move that down there. Okay, swaps the Zilean last. Oh, Zilean's actually in a pretty good spot here. He's going to hit 1 Brock. Then now there's 2 Brocks on YBY1's board. Oh my god, there's a bomb on the first Brock, but the bomb is like now onto Nico. It took so long to bomb Nico here that I think we don't have the damage, and yeah, it is going to be a second for Gobosteur. But still, just a very, very cool line. First time I've really seen somebody play around this augment, and then also with this really cool kind of like randomly hit the Jhin 3 with rolling for Bard, so then opted to not play like a Bard Scion game, opted to play around the Jhin instead, use it to tempo, play around 6 Bruiser. I mean, it was just such a cool line. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and Metafile. I'm links up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching as always.